Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Amshay, and today I'll be walking you through week 6 to week 10 of my pregnancy. Okay, so I'm going to start out with the symptoms that I experienced from week 6 to 10. Week 6 is when I started throwing up. So literally, like I don't think it was at the beginning, but maybe like in between, like 6 weeks and maybe like 2 days is when I started throwing up. And it was just like I'll wake up in the morning. Usually I'm not like a heavy breakfast eater. Like I didn't used to eat a lot of breakfast before I got pregnant. So obviously when I got pregnant I didn't think that would be a problem, but I guess with pregnancy you never know. But so I woke up this one day, I had not eaten breakfast, and I was just living my life, doing my work. I was working, and then the vomiting came, ran to the bathroom. If you watch Nigerian films, let me tell you that those things are very real, where you see the girl just run to the bathroom and go and vomit, and they're like, you're pregnant. That's literally how it happens. And then I started having food aversion. So in my 6th week I lost like my appetite. I wasn't eating well. I didn't know what I would like. I didn't know what I would dislike. Anything that I ate was weird. Eggs started having a weird smell. Meat started having a weird smell. Chicken, when I say meat I mean like beef and chicken, started having a weird smell. Cereal had a weird smell, rice had a weird smell, spaghetti had a weird smell, and I could smell it from like miles away. I couldn't stand like perfumes, like just anything that had like scent, deodorant. I couldn't smell. Like I tried everything. I tried to like stop using deodorant entirely, but one thing that I can tell you is my pee, my sweat also had like weird smells. So like I would throw up when I smell my pee, and sometimes when I smell my sweat, so I would throw up. So those were like big things that started like in week 6, and they just progressed and became like, they progressively got worse. I would say like the peak period of like all those symptoms were like week 9, 10, week 8, 9, 10 were like the peak period. I was vomiting maybe like once every day during that period. We were not cooking in our house at all because the smell, like I just couldn't stand the smell at all. So we were not even cooking. We had to order food from like this Nigerian caterer in Nashville. We ordered like a bunch of food. The food did not have chicken, did not have beef. So my main source of protein at that time was beans, and like I was like craving beans. One day actually my husband tried to make beans for me, so he made the beans. So he cut some garlic and put it in the beans, because usually before I got pregnant I used to like garlic. So but I smelled it from like mild, like from the bedroom, and I was about to take a shower. So like this was me not wearing any clothes, trying to get in the bathroom, and immediately I smelled it. I'm telling you guys, like immediately vomit. Like I vomited in the bathroom. I had to run back to my room to like wear something. I had to run out of the house. Like when I ran out of the house, I vomited right next to the door. I ran into the car. I drank some water. I vomited that water too, right by the side of the car. So needless to say that garlic was, I couldn't stand garlic. Anything that I figured that I can't stand, like just don't include it in my meal. Like let me just not have it anywhere near me. So that's how it was week 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And because I had food aversions, I had my first appointment on the 8th, during the 8th week, and I think by then I had lost like maybe just 1 or 2 pounds, not like anything crazy. So that was like, I wasn't eating well. Like I just, and then if I don't eat in the mornings I will vomit. Like, so breakfast, I had to eat breakfast. Like I always had to have something in the morning, and then I tried to like see if I could like drink a smoothie in the morning as my breakfast. But if I drank something like a liquid, or if I drank a smoothie, I would still vomit. So it had to be like something solid, No liquid. I had to like eat first before I drank something else. I'll throw up. My cramping had stopped. Like I was only getting cramps like once in a while. I still had like my boobs were still really sensitive. They were still hurting. I didn't want my husband near me. Like they were just, I just didn't want. I don't know. Like everything just smelled weird. So like he smelled weird. Like he smelled the same way. Like all the food smelled to me, and I just didn't. I just was not interested. So like he had to like keep his distance during like week 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I ended up switching to like a scentless deodorant. For soaps, I ended up like we switched soaps like so many times. The soap that we changed to, I ended up starting to feel irritated by it, so I had to buy like a Dove hypoallergenic soap, and then now I don't use that anymore because now I don't like the smell. So honestly, it's just like things are just changing every day. Like what you liked yesterday you might hate today, and what you totally detest today you might end up liking tomorrow. So I think like every day is just like trial and error. Every day for me was a trial and error, but I just figured that anything that I didn't like, it wasn't worth the trouble unless I had like a real craving for it. And if I had a real craving for it, then like I'll figure, like I'll try it, but then if it's not sitting well in my stomach, like I'll just vomit and move on. I had to eat my food cold. I couldn't, like we couldn't heat food in this house, so not only could we not cook, we couldn't warm food up, we couldn't microwave food. Like if we had to heat food up, it had to be like just maybe 10 seconds or nothing that made the food hot, because there was something about hot food that made me nauseous. There was something about the smell of hot food that just rubbed me off the wrong way, and if I smelt it I could have vomited. So doing appointments during that time was not easy at all. And because of how my scheduling page worked, people had already scheduled appointments before I knew I was pregnant into like that 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th week. And so like in order not to disappoint people on their big days, I had to like suck it up, pray to the Lord before I go for appointments. There were times when immediately after I finished like someone's face, I'm like running to the bathroom to throw up, or in between doing someone's face I have to like take a pause and like eat something because I feel like I'm about to throw up. So it was just very hard, but I just thank God, because like he really helped me through that time. Like my husband used to say, oh, this child has respect, because literally a client will come, like I will be done with the client's face, the client will walk out the door and then I'm throwing up. So that's what it was. Now so my doctor's appointment also fell between that 8 and 10, between that 6 and 10 week space. My first doctor's appointment was on the 8th week. We went and we saw the baby, we did the ultrasound. By then the baby looked like a gummy bear. I'll put a picture or I'll show you guys. But the baby looked like a gummy bear. We didn't really know what we were looking at, but you know, the tech was nice enough to point out, oh, this is the yolk sac and whatnot. And she was like, that's your baby with gummy bear hands and gummy bear feet and all of that. So in week 8, the doctor's appointment was really quick. I didn't know that that's how it was supposed to be. Apparently, like doctor's appointments are really quick and they don't really like spend more time than they need to spend with you. If everything is good and you're healthy and baby's healthy, they don't really, you know, they'll just ask you how are your symptoms, you know. And she asked me about the vomiting and she offered me some medication for the vomiting, but I was still trying to deal. I was trying to, you know, I don't really like taking drugs anyways. I mean, I'll swallow a pill if I have to, but I would rather not. So I was just like, let's see how it gets, and I'll just like deal with it with like natural things. Also, a lot of people will tell you that ginger tea worked great for them with their nausea and vomiting. It did not work for me. The only thing that worked for me was like the real ginger. So like I had like ginger that I had blended before I got pregnant. So like I'll take that and like I'll smell that, and that really helped some to cure the nausea. Ginger ale did not work. I'll take ginger ale and I'll like throw it up. Ginger tea did not work. I'll take ginger tea and I'll throw it up. The only things that worked were basically just avoiding the things that I felt were triggers, just avoiding it and just staying away from it. Oh yes, and then C-bands, which those things are lifesavers. I think I got to know about C-bands maybe my 9th or 10th week, and so my husband was like, yeah, we're trying this, because he was ready to try like anything literally, and he bought them. He ordered them for me on Amazon. I started wearing them, and my goodness, like they really take the edge off the nausea and vomiting. So these are the C-bands that my husband got me, and he got two. He got like black and gray. These things are amazing. Basically you just wear them on your wrist, and there's supposed to be like a nerve here that like these balls feed into, and it's supposed to like take the edge of nausea, which I felt like it really did. Because there were some mornings that even when like I wouldn't have worn them, and I'll feel like so nauseous, like I'm about to throw up, and I'll slip them right on and like press those pressure points, and it made all the difference. I'm telling you, it might work for you, it might not work for you. I know there are so many things that people recommended that worked for them that didn't work for me, and there are so many things that I would recommend to you that will work, that worked for me, and it might not work for you. So just be open, try things, you know. It's if someone get, but just be cautious again about like all the information you're receiving. One thing I found is that like when you're pregnant for the first time, you get information from like everywhere, because everyone's so excited for you, and you know everyone wants to tell you what to do to feel better, and you know people are just really compassionate, but you just have to be careful, like with all the information, be careful what you try and what you don't try. Also, cold water really helped me. Water was like, cold water was really just nice to like drink. It just I think it like calmed me down sometimes. But again, I couldn't have drank like cold water the first thing in the morning. Like I would have thrown it up. So solids, like eating was very important for me. Like eating, I know the doctors always say, oh, eat small meals like throughout the day. Yes, but I didn't even have the appetite to do that, so I wasn't even eating as best as I could, and I was super tired, super tired. Like I'll finish a meeting at work, and I would just, all I want to do is just like crawl back in bed and sleep. There was a day like I knocked out in the afternoon for like 3 hours, and I still slept early that night, and I still slept for a long time. So yeah, those are all the major things that I experienced during my 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th week of pregnancy. I'll put pictures from any of those weeks here for you guys to see like the progression of my belly. One thing that happened was my boobs also like grew massive, so my stomach and my boobs were growing at the same, almost the same rate. That's how I felt. So yeah, thank you guys for watching today's video. I will see you guys in my next video. Make sure you like, leave me any comments, leave me any questions you have, and I'll be sure to get back to you.